Hello there everybody, it is Josh here, back today with another prepared 3D version 4 video, and back in the very first video of 2019 it would seem. Apologies for the lack of content coming up. We're getting back into the swing of things. I've had a few things going on which sort of just prohibited me from being able to upload any videos. However, that is now fixed for the most part, so we're going back onto the schedule that I originally intended to be from the start of this year, which is 2 videos a week, one on a Wednesday and one on a Sunday, and that is essentially how this is going to run, and for the time being at least, I fully intend on sticking to that schedule. On the ground here at Sydney this evening, we're in the Qatari Barcelona livery, Alpha 7 Bravo Alpha Echo 777-300, obviously by the PMDG simulations team. We're on a stand, I think it's 1-0, I think, on the ground here at Sydney. Got a nice lineup this evening. These are all actual people. I have no idea who they are, but they're all actual peeps, so life is good. We're just in the process of building. You can't quite see it on this side because the building gets in the way, so I've moved my view over to this side instead of the usual. But there you go. That's all that really needs to be said, isn't it? So yeah, we're boarding basically. The catering and stuff is already loaded up. This is a Qatari flight 907 from Sydney going back up to Doha today. Of course, where else would we be going in Qatari livery? So that's essentially where we're going today. We have an expected flight time today of 14 hours and 25 minutes. So it's by no means a short flight. It's definitely one of the longer flights that I've done. I think it actually might well possibly be the longest I've done. It's not the longest I will do, but it's certainly the longest I've done yet. So there is that as well. We are taking with us today 334 passengers, and we're also taking 134 tonnes of fuel. So that gives us a total zero fuel weight of 208.8 tonnes, and it's also giving us a takeoff weight of 342 tonnes. So we're only actually 8 tonnes under our maximum our maximum takeoff weight. So it's going to be a hell of a departure today. I don't want to waste too much time because we are departing 3-4 right, I believe, is what they're departing out of Sydney this morning. I could be wrong about that. But I believe that's what they are departing out of, so that obviously therefore means we have quite a long taxi. We check flight radar very quickly and sincerely hope that is not the case, but it certainly looks like it is, yeah. So 3-4 right is where they're going today. So we're going to jump over into the flight deck now, get the aircraft set up and ready to go on this good old long voyage up to Doha. Alright, so you can see it's 21:17 at the moment, so we're going to go over to the overhead panel here and start setting everything up. So obviously initially the ADDONS, we're on external power at the moment, and we're going to bring the IFE and cabin utility stuff on. APU generator can also come on now for when we need to do that, and we can put the backup generators on as well. Emergency exit lights can arm, the window heats can come on, hydraulics we don't need. We are fully fueled, so the seat belts can also come on. We don't need any fuel pumps for a minute. Left and right packs can come on with the trim air, the isolation valves and the engine bleeds. So we don't need any other lighting from this end, so we're all good for a minute. Coming over to the FMC, we're pausing it, and we're Yankee Sierra Sierra Yankee this morning, or this evening even, and we're stand 10. I don't know whether it's going to take that. Oh, it's very nice. We can take the GPS position from there. Now we can go over to route, and we can route request 777, and you see it's there, YSSY to OTHH. I believe we have some ATC online as well. Brisbane Centre is on. Apparently Brisbane Centre covers Sydney when Sydney's not on, top down, so we'll see how that goes. Transfer needs to be loaded in now, so we can load that in. Perfect, and then with that, what we can also do is blind yourself by my takeoff tool. 3-4 right, and as I said, the flight number today is Qatari 907. We'll sort the perfinite stuff out in a second. 907 is correct into there. Perfect. So from that we can go departure, and as I said, 3-4 right. We are on the, let's see here. Apparently we're going direct to TSAT, so there isn't actually any SID we can take therefore. It may well be the Sydney 1 departure though, but that make more sense because then we can just get direct TSAT. So yeah, we'll plan for the Sydney 1 for the time, but we can always Always change it if necessary. That we can activate and execute that, and we can also root copy it should anything go wrong. Over to the Perfinite page, we can accept that and then just make sure everything is correct. So 7.6 reserves is 4, 7. Yeah, it's about right. It's not quite, but actually it's 7.9, so we'll just change that into there. Step size 0, cruise CG 17.5. This is apparently how they do it, but who knows. Cost index, well, I suppose we could in theory find that out if we have a quick look at the cost index database. See if it is on here. It is not, so I guess in Singapore we use 150. What do Emirates use? They use 25. We'll just keep it at 85. It seems fine. 300 initially is absolutely correct. In terms of the takeoff performance day, well, we can have a look at doing that now. So the current wind conditions are 350 degrees at 5 knots. The outside air temperature is 24 and the QNH 1015. We'll use probably most likely flaps 15. Anti-ice, of course, is not going to be required today. And so the takeoff weight is 342,303. 342,303. Saying we're too heavy, that's absolutely hilarious. What have I done wrong here? Come on, sim brief isn't that stupid. What the hell? 342,203. Well, it thinks we're too heavy, so that's hilarious. So we'll just use everything, I guess. Climb 1. We'll do flaps 20 because we are extremely heavy today, so that makes more sense. We bring that in there. It's a hell of a trim, and as I said today, 350 at 5. It's dry at 24 degrees, and we can go 3,000 on the acceleration height, and 1,500 is our engine out. Takeoff gross weight is going to be 342.8 as well. So with that gives us V speeds 161, 167 and 175. So we are extremely fast. Looks like the boarding is now complete, so that's all good. And 336 is the heading. And the initial climb on the Sydney 1. I mean, there really isn't one, so I can guess we go 110, which is the transition level. So with legs, we can put in some step climbs now. So as I said, initially 300, then we're 320 at K-Dom. Is that K-Dom? Oh no, K-Dun. K-Dun. So 320S, we go into there. Then Mutme, we're at 340 at Mutme. 340S, Mutme. And then at TVM, we're 360. There, perfect. So we can execute that. With that, we can then load all the wind data in. We can execute that, and then we can sort the descent forecast out. Of course, we'll update those when we're much further along the way. That can all go in there, and 110 is the initial climb. That should be 250 below 10. I don't understand what that's doing. It's not going to let me do that, is it? If I do that. Okay, well, I'll leave it as it is, that's fine, whatever. Perfect, so that's all done, so that can go and sit on init ref, and with that we can now start the APU as well. And then I believe we can call Brisbane Centre for our clearance. So Brisbane Centre's 133.0. If I can find the click spot for it. 133.0. And tune it on the mic. Oh, you get it. There we go, that's better. So we'll do that in a second. It's going to be really loud.
117, fire the 6 to 5,000 feet.
Just bring that down for a minute. Data traffic, and bring that right the way in, and again bring this right the way in. Terrain and data, and traffic on there as well. Should have APU power in just a second, so we'll start going through the checklist now. We can go to reset all the checklist, of course, go to normal. So oxygen is tested, flight image checked, whatever. And then the before start checklist, flight deck doors closed and locked, MCP is set, takeoff speeds are done, so your pre-flight trim, taxi and takeoff briefing. We're just waiting on the beacon, which is quite rare. So we can close all of these doors now.
Departures are with me, 133.0.
Arm nose.
Nose,
and we can just leave that to conceal now.
Departure 5000 international 4162 in the box, departure with you 133-0, class 27.
Call from me, 7.
So,
Conroe with the Qantas 9C for who do registration.
Aircraft calling even ready for let's see, they're 3.5 by 5.
Qantas 9C proposed to refusing allegiance to San Francisco International Airport by information Lima.
Qantas 9 X-ray. I just verified that you had for a flight and I've got nothing coming through on my end.
yeah, so that at least confirms that we are where we should be. So APU is on, so we can disconnect the ground power now. All the fuel pumps can come on. We do have fuel in the centre, obviously. Beacon light can come on now as well. And obviously get rid of these ground connections.
Qantas 496, continue descent 3,000 feet from Nesho.
Disconnect all of that, remove all of that,
0.
and then that can hang out on FMC as well.
Please open and
Beautiful.
open NASA heading 060, Qantas 18.
The flight directors as well. Get clearance here as well. What's the ATIS letter? It is Lima. Coughing as well. Oops. Brisbane Centre, good afternoon, or is it good morning for you guys? I'm not really sure. Qatar907, stand 10 at Sydney. We have Lima, 777-300 clearance, please, to Doha.
Qatar907, it's good morning over here even. Eclipse to Doha via the Parks flight plan routes. Runway 34 left, KTOM 1 departure. Climb veers at 5,000 feet, squawk 4121. Departures are with me, 133.0.
What departure was that? Okay, cleared Doha, 34 left, squawk 5041, and could you just repeat the departure again please for Qatar907?
Qatar907, it's the KDOM 1 departure, squawking at 4121, 4121.
Oh, I got that completely wrong. Oops. Right, okay, so it's the... I still don't see what... Oh, okay, I see. Okay, KDOM 1, and be squawking for you 4121 for Qatar907.
Qatar907.
Perfect. Okay, so that was me being insanely stupid and forgetting to put spaces in between all of my things. So always nice to see when you're able to do that. We've got 3-4 left as well, which makes my life that much more easier. So we can go 3-4 left actually, and KDOM 1. We'll just re-verify those speeds as well. Beautiful. Okay. So I think everything's done, apart from clear the jetway away now. Lol. And 3-4 left is what we're using today, so that's going to put us that way somewhere, isn't it?
Qantas 49, continue left heading 360 degrees from the heading joint final, runway 34 left, to clear the end of the approach.
I being stupid? No, I'm not. So it needs to be those to the left. That makes sense. No, QTR907 request push and start.
QTR907 push approved.
Push approved, QTR907. Okay, so we can do that now. Push back. We can only do a straight push back. It's good memes. So we'll just bring that down a second. Multitasking today because I'm trying to get all the sound levels right. So this could be a good meme.
I got the flight plan B cleared to San Francisco via the Nova
I think we just need to confirm the rest of that checklist. Yep, we do. So the before start checklist is now complete. So I've just got the before touch checklist now. Put the engine page up now. And 1015 is the altimeter. Beautiful.
Locking gear.
Qantas 9 extra, I think 3 back is correct.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
So release the parking brake. Start the clock.
Clear. Start at will.
We'll start pressurising the hydraulic. So obviously on the right first.
Qantas 1 to 7 push and start to the bridge face south.
To the left.
Qantas 117 push and start. Qantas 117 and 1 for push and
we can do all of that there. And with that, we can now start engine number 2. We'll wait for 2% on the oil pressure, which is achieved, so we can now bring the fuel in.
Qantas 9 X-ray push and start boost.
Auto start. Beautiful, so we've got a good engine start on number 2, so we can go over to number 1 now. And again, waiting for 2% on the oil pressure, which is achieved.
Set parking brakes.
That's really nice of you, GSX.
Qantas 490, surface 2330 degrees, 6 knots, runway 34 left, clear to land. Clear landed for left, Qantas 18.
There's some guy land.
Unlocking gear.
Let's see him.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Curious to see how we're going to get to 3-4 left from here. So I think it's time for some ground charts. So we should probably, first of all, before I call for taxi, find out where we are. So we're stand 10, so I see where we are. We're here. So if we are here on International 4, 3-4 left, so at least I got my bearings right. Oh, actually, okay, it's actually relatively simple to get to. That's cool.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
The left and right is clear. We've got 2 good starts, so we can ditch the APU now. And we can go flaps 1, 5, 10, 15 and 20. Hand signal is received on the right, and we can set the trim as well. Flight controls, and it's 7.75 units, so that's quite impressive. 7.75 units of trim is set. We can go over to the checklist now. So for the 4 taxi checklist, anti-ice is not required. The recall is checked. All we have is the TCAS, which is fine. The auto brake is now RTO. The flight controls, we can do a check of full left, wrong page, full right, full up, full down, and rudder full left, and rudder full right as well. Beautiful. Flight controls are absolutely fine, and the ground equipment is clear. So the before taxi checklist complete. And Qatar 907 is ready for taxi.
Qatar 907, taxi by Alpha, hold short golf.
Alpha hold short golf, Qatar 907. A bit of power in. I'll turn the ATC up just so I can hear. So we're Alpha short of golf. Well, that does not make any sense whatsoever. I am going to absolutely twat this guy. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm looking for
How's your position for now, 40 day?
So we might be alright.
Class 140, class 127 even.
They don't turn very sharp, do they?
Follow the Qatari 777, fly Alpha, hold short golf.
Follow Qatari 777 by Alpha short golf. Class 27.
Class 490, welcome to Sydney, vacate select golf for taxi golf. Good day, good day.
Taxi light should actually be on, that's my bad.
Qatari 907, good way to the 787 crossing Alpha on golf, taxi flight Alpha cross runway 07, Alpha 6 holding place 34 left.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we'll give way to the Qantas just passing now and continue down Alpha for 34 left for Qatar 907.
Well, that's 117, company 747 passes behind you, push approved. Push approved, Qantas 117.
Very nice, Qantas 787 there.
Qatari 907, call me airborne, runway 34 left, clear to takeoff.
34 left, clear takeoff for Qatar 907. Okay, so we're cleared takeoff, so the strobes and the landing lights can come on now. I'm going to do a rolling takeoff. I think I'll spin the power a little bit just so we make this turn.
Class 127, heavy ready.
Class 127.
Oh, what a lineup that was! Beautiful. Alright, so we can start the clock. Power's coming in. We are stable. Toga. It's 105.8% N1 power set, and we are through 80 knots. Thrust hold. All the power these GE90s can give us right now. Holy Jesus.
Well, that's 137 on my 34 left, line up and wait.
Runway 34 left,
V1, rotate. Onto the flight director, and it's a positive rate of climb and gears going up. Trying to keep it on the flight director there, whilst wing shots is not easy. fact, you know what? I just want to enjoy this, so I'll go straight in with the with the autopilot today. I just want to enjoy this. There's the climb D clutch. No idea what this flight plan is doing though. It's like not make it go all wiggly for the controller.
Qantas 127, that's just 777 departing runway 34 left, clear for takeoff.
34 left, clear for takeoff, Qantas 127.
Cool. So we can bring it now, flaps 15. Slowly start cleaning it up. It's going to climb quite slowly, but that's absolutely fine.
Qatari 907, just verify altitude passing.
Passing 3,300, Qatari 907.
Qatari 907, thanks. Identified climb via said flight level 300.
Climb via the said flight level 300, Qatari 907.
Qantas 98 train for Paris, find heading 310 degrees, 34 left, line up the way.
We'll continue with flaps 1 now.
Qantas 117 ready. Qantas 117.
Flaps can come all the way in now.
Qantas 127, heavy air, passing 700, climbing 5,000.
Qantas 127, I divide climb is at flight level 280.
Beautiful. Well, we're 3 minutes in, 14 hours and 22 minutes to go, flight time plan wise that is. Doha, here we come. Okay then everybody, so we are 13 hours and 39 minutes into our 14.5-hour flight right now. We've got about 147 miles, 150 miles to our descent, so it's time to get the arrival programmed in. Go down to depart and arrive. Now they're landing ILS 34 left today. We're on the Afan 1 Whiskey arrival, so we can just throw that in there and all of this should fix itself and work, which it has. Beautiful. Put in our usual fixes about any arrival in any Boeing aircraft, so we'll do the standard of 4 miles, 10 miles, and also a 15 miles. Gives us a nice idea that when we need to start slowing down, etc. In terms of the actual approach today, we power the approach plate. We start the arrival at 3,000 feet, so I always put the predicted ETA out in for 3,000 there, so that can go in there. And then over to nav rad, we can pop that in there, so that can come alive now. And over to init ref. We're landing today 222 tons, apparently. So 222 tons. Do flap 30, 141. The weather down at Doha today is 34010, so we'll add 10, so that'll do about 151 on the arrival, be a flap 30, as it says there. Following on from that, so we've got the QNH to do, so 1016 can go in there, and the decision height for us today, we're a category D, which is 330 feet. Over to here, 330. But obviously stepped overnight to flight level 360, which is what we're maintaining now. The VNAV is a bit broken. If I have a look here. Actually, no, it's fixed itself. Lol, that's fun. But yeah, it's been pretty uneventful. Wasn't as eventful as what the flight down to Sydney was. So, got about another 150 miles till we descend on the ground. So hang on a minute, let's work this out. So yeah, we've got about another 24 minutes till we descent, and another 45-ish till we arrive, which is going to put us roughly about 14.25 hours. No, 14.5 hours is about right. Beautiful, always good when a plan comes together. So, as per usual, speak to you when we are a little further down the way into Doha. Okay then everybody, we're just descending through 7,500 feet now, 14 hours 22 minutes on the clock, just slowing down to 220 knots, or thereabouts. Sync heading up there. We're just making the final loop now, so see what we've got to do. Everyone's come down to the ND. We're going to make this loop round here, sort of like a, well, it's almost a teardrop entry into to establish on 3-4 left. Nothing in the way of ATC or other traffic inhibiting us this morning, so well, it's actually this afternoon now, lol. So we can just come straight in. One thing I am going to do is put flaps 1 out just to aid us around this corner. Nice. We're losing a little bit here, so we'll bring the speed brakes out. It's not major, but on a tight turn like this, the last thing you really want to be doing is being over the point that you should be. I mean, we've got bags of room, so it's not a problem. It's just something you generally want to keep on top of, especially, as you may have noticed, visibility is not fantastic this morning. It's only 5 stature miles at the moment, according to ActiveSky. So it's not the best visibility, certainly not the worst by any standard, but certainly not the best either. Speed brakes back in now. Very nice though, very nice indeed. Very nice water down there as well. Lot of. I love this haze effect P3D is doing. It's so nice. Actually, I think it's sort of cross between PTA and ActiveSky. Either way, it's extremely nice. So we're just rolling out on this now. I'm going to bring this all the way down so I can see what I'm doing. 17 miles out at the moment. So once we make this turn, you can see the airport there now actually, so we'll start slowing down. We'll take flap 5. The cabin is ready. Can arm the speed brake. We don't need drag force. Stupid. Right, so in terms of any missed approach that we may need to do today, we can have a look at that very quickly whilst we're turning. So it's climbing straight ahead at 2.7 DME. It's turned left onto 306 degrees. And then crossing 7.5 DME at or above 2,500. And what's the final one? It's 5,000. Yeah, so it's like a little arc that there is. It's already in there, but 5,000 is what we need. 336 is the final heading there, so we can go localizer and then we can go for the glide. Last landing light can come on now as well. And then once we pass the 10-mile marker, then we'll start slowing down, putting all the gear out, all of that stuff. That's really nice though, holy Jesus. Visibility is a little bit sketchy at the moment. Glide diamond is just coming up on us. We should hopefully catch that before we level off. Which we have, beautiful. So we have the glider now, so we can reset MCP out to 5,000 feet. We're IMC at the moment. So we can bring now flaps 15 out. Yeah, very, very nice. we've got the speed control manually now. Still 160. Is checked. See the speed getting away from us just a little bit there, so we're going to drop the gear now. And there's the gear indicator is down. We'll continue out with flaps 20 now. Has the same reference speed, so we can just leave that there. Passing 1,500 feet. Just start to see the pappy lights there through this. We'll land 3. We can bring all the flaps out now. Well, that's flaps 30 and 151 is our approach speed today. Far down these flaps are insane, honestly. Right, it says flaps 30, and with that we can do the landing checklist. Landing checklist is complete.
1,000.
So we're visual with the effort now, so we can take manual control. I have control.
Approaching decision height. Decision height.
Continue. I don't know what's going on with the approach lights there. That's very, very weird.
200.
Some sort of electrical failure there.
100. 50, 30, 20, 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 14 hours and 30 minutes on the dot, welcome to Doha International. Reverse is green, decel. There's 60 knots reverses out. Auto brake manual, or sorry, auto brake off. So what was the landing rate on that? 264, yeah, it was a little bit hard that actually. Forgot to flare it. Also weather and all the lights can come off, auto brake can come off, flaps can come in. Now we should probably figure out where this parks. Let's have a look at that very quickly. So, and it actually just doesn't say anything at all. So I suppose you can really theoretically just go anywhere. So let's see, where are we at the moment? We're on, so there's Lima 5. So we must be on like Lima 6 or something like that. So we need to taxi Kilo. I'm trying to think, where we left on the Echo apron, didn't we? yesterday. Well, not we put up, not us, but pretty sure it was on the Echo apron. Could be wrong about that though. We'll throw it into one of the whiskies. Screw it. One that stands on whiskey. Why not? I mean, we're in Doha, it's Qatari, I'd imagine they'll park practically anywhere. Let's get all of this stuff out the ND. Overshot that corner a bit. Whatever. Please turn, why are you not turning? There we go. Stop that clock now as well, hold that clock. Start the APU now. That was a good flight. 14 hours and 30 minutes. That is impressive. I just find it amazing that machines like this can just keep going and going and going for this length of time. It's just absolutely insane. It's just amazing. So we'll throw it into sort of one of the stands over there somewhere. I think is going to be the better option. Yeah, I reckon if we just turn up Lima 3 and then Whiskey 3, just take Whiskey 3 in. Actually, do you know what? I'm actually fairly certain, looking at this now, I left here in the dark, but whatever. I'm pretty sure we did depart from one of the Whiskey. Well, I'm saying Whiskey sounds loosely, surely because they're on Whiskey, but whatever. Take one of these stands. This Doha scenery is so nice though. Absolutely beautiful, honestly. I'm on the wrong taxiway. Just cut across like this. Head over to like one of these stands or something. Head over to like that one over there. Where should we go? Charlie 12. Yeah, we'll take Charlie 12. Seems alright. Taxi never was my strong point. He was on the wrong side as well. Brakes on there. APU is on, all the bleeds and stuff are good. Taxi lock can come off. And at 14 hours and 50 minutes, there go the engines. Press deboarding. Get the jetway in. Complete the flight on project flight. And obviously that will all disappear for you guys. Hydraulics. Beacon lights. Fuel pumps. And seatbelts. Stop that clock there as well. Oh, there you have it. A good flight overall. 14 hours and 46 minutes. We had a final block time of 15 hours and 20 minutes from when I started Project Fly to when I just ended it. So, a very long flight. Very enjoyable flight. It's been a fun rotation for me. I kind of wish I'd done both, like recorded both parts now, but whatever. It is what it is. That is it from me for today. Thank you very much for watching. I shall see you all later on in the week. And until the next video, I don't know what GSX is doing. Good memes. But until the next video, thank you very much for watching. And as always, bye-bye for now.